ago, in 1935, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
What's up, GQ man? I think you can hear me right now. I just turned the sound back on. Just getting things ready and set up really quick, bud. I'm glad to see you made it.
Democrats continue to build on the legal structure designed by Francis Perkins and Franklin Roosevelt long after they were gone.
Get my other one set up so I can see the chat going on.
90 years ago today.
There we go. Turn the volume down so there's no feedback.
We are with the full confidence that 90 years from now.
Yeah, that's cool. I was going to wait until she was all done and everything, but looking like she's going to have a long one running over there, and that's okay. I'm just going to show off a little bit of mail and get back off of here pretty soon. I tried to give plenty of ample time. I hung out there for like the first 2.5 hours myself. She's a good friend, so I try not to step on any toes. Oh wow, I guess I better get things moving. Hello everybody, welcome, welcome. I didn't realize that many people showed up all at once. Let's go ahead and turn the screen on and get things going. How's everybody doing tonight? Laid out here is a bunch of lockmail I just got. I'm going to show you really quick. Our friend Lady Locks is still streaming on her live right now, so just wanted to get things loaded up, show off some mail that I got in today, and we'll wrap it up pretty quick. Alright. So, essentially, a few days, maybe a week ago, I was on Reddit, and we'll get to that part in a second, I guess. But anyway, I talked to a guy. For right now, we'll just say Nick. I didn't get a chance to talk to him and see if he wanted me to totally shout out his name, so we'll just say Nick for right now. But I got to talking to Nick on Reddit. He decided he wanted real quick tonight.
He's a member of the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, and also the Senate Commerce Committee.
Let's see. Everything still sound good, look good out there, GQ man? Let me know how it out. I had a little bit of glitching last time. So it looks like I got one of these Wiser. It's got the knob. And it's also got the deadbolt. Basically everything you would need to install 2 different key knobs or a deadbolt. The deadbolt's laying around here somewhere, but anyway, it's got all the hardware and everything for that. Awesome, thanks GQ man. What's up everybody? I kind of got started a little early here. Some people came in, some people still coming in and out, but I'm just showing off a little lockmail I got from this guy that's my good friend now, Nick. I met on Reddit. I was just showing, he sent me this first, It all came in one big package finally today in UPS. Been waiting on it a little bit. But I got this Wiser lock knob thing going on here. And all the locks you see on the table here came from him. So we just got a couple different things. One of these RB brass locks. Haven't picked around with that one too much yet. Haven't had time to play with much of this stuff yet. Got this little guard lock. I did pick that one open earlier. It's pretty easy one to pop, but it's fun. I got myself another one of these Master Lock #1s, the commercial kind. Hey everybody who's coming in, welcome. I got started a little bit early. G-Key Man, I might stay, hang out, and pick a few of them afterward if the stream stays happy for me, but things have been a little weird with YouTube lately, so I'm just trying to get things moving along. But anyway, I got another one of these. Hello, Rosie Gamble. This is a lock picking channel. Welcome, nice to have you here. If you don't mind hitting the like button or double tapping your screen if you enjoy this, it all helps Mounta1nM1ck get his channel out there a little more. Looks like he sent me a couple locks that have the shackles cut out of them. I always ask people for, any locks that don't have keys or have the shackles cut out of them. That's a good way to get some locks from people like your local locksmith or something like that donated to you. Also, he sent me some of these Master Magnum series. These are the ones with the boron shackle that's a lot harder to cut through, they say. I'm not sure about that, but anyway, got some of those. Let's see, got a few different puck disc lock kind of things. These were all seem to be master keyed. I tried messing around with this one a little bit. I can't tell if the shackle and everything's jammed. I'm going to try to loosen it up with some spray and messing it around a little bit, see if I can loosen that one up a little, see if I can get it going again. This public storage one's clipped, but it's got a 45mm little Chinesium brass core in it. I did pick it already. I'll go ahead and do it again really quick, just for the sake of lock picking while we're here tonight. Just grab my favorite sparrows hook out of here. Pop this thing really quick. The thing about the ones without the shackle in them is whenever you do pop them, sorry, my turner's not big enough. Pop one of these, it's not quite as satisfying because the key still turns the core and everything, or the turner in this case. But you'll see when I get it open here, yeah, that's all she does. She turns that far. It's alright, Lock Sport Click. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I'm glad you were able to stop by even for a second. I appreciate you coming to support me. Thank you, Garrett. But yeah, the ones without the shackle, they don't give you that nice satisfying shackle pop, but you can still pick them, so they're good practice to play around with. Easy to get people to donate those to you. Also got one of these, oh crap, sorry, my table's glass. So this one is another kind of master lock. I looked up it's got an M530, and I learned while looking it up that the little CD on the stamp, if you see a CD like that stamped on a master lock, it means that they've been keyed different. That's their distinction for having different keys. So if you had bought this one in a set, this would be oh, thanks so much. I appreciate it, Rosie Gamble. Feel free to come check out some of my stuff later on. I've got a ton of short stuff and some other lives going on too. I appreciate you coming by and supporting my channel tonight. And I've got another one of these somewhere handy. So I'll probably end up sending one of my Master Lock #1s away to somebody at some point. I've got another one. It's almost identical to this, I think. It's definitely identical core-wise because it's a Master #1, so I don't feel much need to keep multiples of locks. Alright, Rosie, thank you so much. Mounta1nM1ck appreciates you coming by, liking and subscribing. We have contests And like I was saying, 30mm brass guard lock. These ones are pretty easy to take care of with about anything you got. So just give it a little quick wriggle, and there we go. As you can see, when it comes to these little ones with the brass cores and just a few pins and no security, they're not really hard for me to get into anymore. I've been practicing enough that this kind of stuff just kind of is for fun. And I've been picking other things for a challenge. Everybody who knows me well knows that I'm still trying to get this PL410 Pro open. So whenever I do get that one open, it'll be up on video very soon. I've only been picking it on camera. I'm trying to get it open for pack lock, get my 200K and my blue belt. I found out earlier tonight that you are allowed to rake your pack locks. So if you are a raker and you want to get your 200K on, I found out in the Lady Locks chat earlier tonight from my friend Chuck Soup that you can rake one of these. And if you successfully rake this one on camera, you can set it to pack lock the same as a single pin picker, folk. And you can get your 200K patch and everything for raking it open, because like many picker places, they're of a mind that an open is an open. And I must agree, if you're good enough to rake one of these open, you're doing some serious raking anyway. If you're interested in that, my friend Chuck Soup used a Sparrow's City Rake. I don't have one of their City Rake profiles yet, but I've got a video on my videos from friends playlist that Chuck Soup allowed me to share. He does a really fast sweep rake pick on one of those with a city rake. And it was a really cool video. So I asked him if I could share it on my videos from friends, and he said to go right ahead. So thank you, Chuck, for that. Love to show off my friends, and especially love to show off anybody using Sparrow's tools, as I am still working to deal with them. Now, I've kind of waited a little bit to show you the main couple of things that I got. I've got them here a little further back. All of these locks were sent in to me in a big bag in this box, but those were just kind of a nice bonus from Mr. Nick. What Mr. Nick actually set out to do was, he had bought about 12 McTicklers, and many people wondered why he would do that. So I messaged him talking to him about it, and he told me that he would send me 3 of them to test and try out, so that I can enjoy what it's like to have a Reaper profile. The McTickler profile is the number 2 Reaper. It comes from the Covered Instruments Reaper set, the McNally. It's very popular among my friends. My friend Skip, that is a mentor to me, his favorite is the number 3, which comes in that same set. And 44 Delta makes some very nice handles called Slim Cloaks that will cover these handles and make them bulky and nice like Mounta1nM1ck prefers. So very soon in the future, Mounta1nM1ck will be getting himself at some point a Reaper set to play around with, and some 44 Delta handles to go on it, because I just want, I kind of got up, and I just wanted to go ahead and get things going. Lock still had her stream going on, so I was just trying to do a quick lockmail, maybe pick around afterward. But basically, I'm showing off that my friend Nick, that I met on Reddit, sent me all these locks here that you see. All of these brass and this little guard. Some Master Lock Magnums. And all of that. Some discs. But the main thing that he was trying to send me is the 3 McTicklers. I mentioned it to you the other night, bro. But yeah, this is the gentleman, Nick, who sent me 3 McTicklers so that I could play around. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, buddy. There's still some glitchiness going on for sure with my YouTube. I don't know why, but I've got a little lag from one to the other, and I'm doing the best I can out here in the middle of nowhere, but still having a few technical difficulties, it seems. I appreciate you guys bearing with me on that. As I said, I'll be trying to do more recorded videos in the future, so I don't have as many problems with these live issues, but live's always fun for people to hang out and chat and all of that stuff. So for that reason, I try to have one maybe a little too often, and I'll have to take it back down a little bit. But Nick sent me these 3 McTickler profiles, and as I was saying, they come in the Reaper set. As many of you know, some of you may not. The Covered Instruments Reaper set, it's the McNally set. As far as I'm aware, they're all 20 size profiles. Unlike, I do also have their FNG over here with my Sparrows kit. To really play with it as much and see how I like the way it sits in my hand. But I picked a few locks with it off camera before, and I do enjoy this profile a little bit already, so I can tell that there's definitely some promise there. I always figured that there would be. I know a lot of people point to the Reapers as their favorite set, and I've always thought it'd be nice to get some and try myself, so soon I'll try those out, the whole set, and get some of the Delta handles for it too, the slim cloaks. I think it's only like somewhere around $55 for the whole Reaper set, and then I believe the Delta cloaks for them are about $15, something like that. That's a $50 Mounta1nM1ck would spend every single time. These metal things are okay, but I'm just a way bigger fan of handles. I've always said I'm a bit of a handle snob. And the main thing that initially stopped me from buying these was that I was going to have to spend almost $100 shipping and all told for 5 picks with handles on them. And, you know, again, I will be getting them in the future. I'm not saying that they aren't worth it. I'm just a financially challenged fellow, so that was not immediately available to me when I first started picking. I opted to go another route and end up with 8 Sparrows and 7 Jimmy Longs, as well as the cases for both, for not maybe $5 or $10 more than I would have paid for all of what I was just describing. So it seemed to me that more than 3 times as many picks, 2 different kinds of 2 cases, and all of them come with handles. The way that I decided to go with that, which is why I prefer working with what I have, expanding in the future, so that I can give more fair opinions and that sort of thing. Rock Out with Your Lockout has joined us. Nice to see you, Rock Out. I was just showing off this bundle of locks that I got from my friend Nick on Reddit, and the 3 McTickler that he has sent over for me to try out and see how I like these covert Reaper handles and McTickler profile. I haven't had much time to play around with them yet, but I've always been drawn to these. As I said, it was more of a cost-effective thing that kept me away from them initially. I'll still be getting a set down the road, but I don't think for my initial value I made the right choice by going with what I went with. I ended up with way more picks with handles already on them and cases on them as well, which is what better suits me and my personal preferences. I'm not saying it's better for everybody. Thank you, Wild Billiam. Hello, Lock Guy. I started a little early tonight. Hey, David. Nice to see you guys all in here. Please hit the like button if you can for me, or double tap your screen. Anything like that always helps me out. You're not required or anything. It would just be really cool to Mounta1nM1ck if you did. Now, the last thing that I've saved to show off while we've got everybody here, Walt, my boy Walt Cade has entered the chat. Walt is very well known by anybody who watches my channel. I'm a big lover of the Maces and the 3D set that he printed for his Maces. Walt has sent me some locks. Yeah. 3 of the McTickler profile. So I've got 1 and 2 backups at the moment. I will be playing with these a lot more. and getting to know them. I'll get some handles for them in the future. I'll probably get a full Reaper set as well. I buy and try just like everybody else. We all know where I stand on who my favorites are, but we also know that I like to try and buy all of them and collect like everyone else. So as much stones as I get thrown at me for that, that's okay. I came into this game aware that when I made the affiliations I did, that was a fair shake that I would end up with, and I'm okay with that. I've basically painted a target on my back, and soon we'll have a sparrow's tattoo on my neck. And that just comes with certain implications. So I've made that choice. I love it, and I will live with it for the rest of my life very happily. With that being said, I still encourage everybody to use what they like, ruthlessly and without explanation if they feel like. If your favorite brand is Covert Instrument and you like their $150 new tool, then Mounta1nM1ck supports your feelings in feeling that way. You run out and spend your money on that thing, and don't let anybody tell you different. It's not what I personally would do, but that's neither here nor there. We've got different styles, different life situations, and different preferences. So I will never act like anyone is above or beneath me for purchasing tools. We're all into lock sport and tools. We should all have a good time. Now, let me show you. I believe it's probably a clone of maybe a Yale or something to that nature. At any rate, if anybody knows for sure, can chime in and let Mick know. But this is a Marks, which is a USA brand, and it's brand new. It came with the keys. It's got the slimline European style. But the thing that Mounta1nM1ck is most excited about is it is already grub screwed the way it comes. And Mounta1nM1ck has all the Allen wrenches he could ever need in life. This one is not the same one from the pack lock the other night. That was a 2.5. It is in my case over here with my sparrows stuff. I keep it on hand for gutting and whatnot. Exactly, broke. Like what you like. Because people say stuff because they are lacking self-esteem. It usually is a projection about something they don't like about themselves, or something that they are angry about but not comfortable to actually say to you. I must agree with my brother Broke there. So this thing is already grub screwed, and I've been reading through the Deviant Allum book, as I've told many of you. Since doing so, I've already been on a quest to progressively pin a lock and go from 1 pin stack all the way up to 5, and just do multiple mixings of the different possible setups of security pin in different chamber versus regular pins, and just make it all kinds of rebuildable fun for myself. And the reason that one of these is more in line with me doing in my room right now, but this is my S1100. Yesterday I was playing around still progressive pinning my A1100. Well, I made a classic mistake that some people are or are not aware can happen. You see this little screw right here that holds the faceplate on? Well, this is the rivet, and the screw that goes under the shackle right here, when you lock the shackle, goes into that and holds the faceplate and the core in and everything. I made the fatal mistake of over-tightening this screw and shutting this shackle before checking to see if it was over-tightened. So although my keying was done well and would turn the core, I couldn't bypass it, I couldn't pick it, and I couldn't use the key because the core itself became trapped in a squeezed manner between this back wall and the faceplate when I over-tightened the screw. I talked to Georgia Jim for about 30 minutes. Shout out Georgia Jim. He tried to help me with this, but I was incapable of solving said problem. I did save the core for future experimentation and other things, and I have most of the screws and stuff out of it because I was pinning it. It's a $12 lock and an easy lesson to learn and replace cheap, But I'm trying to pass along to you that it is possible to over tighten one of these screws. So always make sure, the same way you would with any other stuff, that you double check even after the screw that your key is going to work still before you close the shackle. Now, it's not going to pop it because of the shackle being out of there, but I'm used to snug there, so that's just something that me and my A1100 will fail for. And now I'm happy to see this here, because I don't have to go through the long process, which is not that long, but I don't need a screwdriver or that other Allen wrench, and I don't have to take a body apart because of the way this lock is made. The core is already exposed, and all of the pin stacks have grub screws. So with this tool, I can take each one of these little covers out, one pin stack at a time, very safely, and remove one pin stack with its springs at a time, reconfigure it however I want, and put it back one at a time if I like, so that I don't have parts everywhere, so I can only swap one at a time. There's a lot of easier variations to be had with an already grub screwed lock. So if you're starting out in picking and pinning, get a book that explains it. Watch a lot of videos on progressive pinning and picking, and get yourself something like this, so that you have a really good practice lock to play around with that is realistic, feels like a real lock because it is a real lock, and will take you farther much faster in your learning experience of not only understanding how to pick these locks, but how to build them properly from inside out. Because the more you get used to doing the stacks and springs in one of these, the less you'll have to think about all that when you go to actually breaking down one of these bad boys with the full body and everything. So that is the tip Mounta1nM1ck will give you for today. Get you a book, get you some good videos, get you a grub screwed lock, and obviously a bunch of other locks to play around with. And if you make the right friends, every once in a while, one of them will send you something really cool, like 3 McTicklers and some locks. So that way, when I have a chance, I ask them in return, because I don't like just to pay it forward. I also like to try and show appreciation in whatever way possible. Let's see what you guys said in the chat. Maybe I'll pick a couple locks, and I'll try to wrap this thing up before it becomes too long. It's already 30 minutes in. Let's see. David says, Lee Sparrows has a kick-ass logo. I support you, Mick. I had your back on Reddit as well when they try calling out for you not posting affiliations on your profile when no one else has it either. That's true, David. There's a lot of politics, especially in the Reddit world. Those who know are very aware that many of the controlling cast of that area are directly affiliated or sponsored by or ambassadors for Covert Instrument. I don't have anything I want to say about that, because many of them have befriended me, are good friends to me, and have with their arms open, such as Lady Locks, Georgia Jim, Doc Hogg. I would also like to mention the 3 of them are all very well-known figures in the community. As far as I know, at least 2 of the 3 of them are affiliated, if not all 3, directly with Covert. And that's fine. Like, they don't hold it against me. They've known from day one that I've been associating with Sparrows. And likewise, I don't hold it against them. But, amongst the internet, there's always going to be chatter. And like I tried to say earlier in this podcast or video, when I initially walked into this whole lock sport thing and approached hatred that Sparrows has gotten over the years, and I'm totally welcome to that. Anybody who knows me knows that I've encouraged anyone to come to me and tell me anything that you have feelings-wise against Sparrows, and I will do my best to pass that on to them, and hope that they will better themselves for all of us, because all I really want is for lock sporters to get the best out of every company. So when you hear me say things about any company, like Covert, for example, it's not to slam their tools. They make a fantastic tool. The way they go about selling some of them, I disagree with. But again, I don't want to get into mudslinging here. Those are just my opinions. Um, and opinions, everybody has one. So, you don't have to believe me or follow me for that reason. But I'd rather be genuine with you and for you to hear what I think, at least on my channel. When I'm out and about on Reddit and other places, I do more careful walking to not step on any toes. And for that reason, I occasionally have some people throw shade back. And that's how I actually ended up in a talk with George Jim the other day. And he pointed out to me that I had not had certain tools that I made comments about in my hand yet, and that some newer people might get the wrong impression from that. He was all class when telling me so, and I completely agreed with his opinion on such. Having heard it from somebody experienced and respected like him in the community, really helped me to see that there are certain things Mounta1nM1ck needs to try. Georgia Jim and anybody who helps me better myself for that type of thing. And know that I'm always open to that sort of thing. Me and Georgia Jim are good buddies, as I said. He tried to help me out with the American 1100 that I've made a rock. And he's the first person to take me up on actually sending me his Sparrow's escort that he does not want. So he at least is a man who I totally respect. He's a legend. So, show Georgia Jim the love. No matter how much you may or may not like me, he is a legend, and he must bear some respect with the weight that he carries in this lock sport. Or otherwise, all of this really means nothing, and you're just trolling around on the internet for trouble. So, among mature adults and lock sporters, it's a good idea to, remain open-minded, always communicate positively with people, and, allow your opinions to change if companies do better themselves anyways. On that note, I would recommend everybody to watch the new Broken Rune. Both came out with a nice podcast recently. I went into it knowing nothing about it, but that it was about sparrows. I really enjoyed it. I think there were some surprising points that they made. And I'm not going to spoil their show for anybody, so you definitely should go watch it. I'm not going to give any more details than that. All I can say is that the new Broken Rune, the new Broken Rune with Broke Picks and Runesmith, two guys I really respected and liked before I even started picking and being a public figure of any type. They so I really roll with, and I would recommend to anybody who doesn't know them to check out their channel. I really think you'll enjoy it. There's a lot of great information from some more experienced gentlemen than myself over there. So yes, absolutely, bro. You're welcome. Anytime for a shout out, brother. You've helped me get to where I got before you even knew who I was, brother. I would be remiss to leave you out here. David says he owns Sparrows, Jimmy's, Covert, and loves them all. And he agrees with me. Well, I don't know if anybody has looked around here, but you're in the same boat with me there, David. I got a pile of Sparrows back here. I got a pile of Jimmy Longs back here. And in my Sparrows kit, I've got the FNG, and I've also got these three McTickler profiles as well. And I don't think it's a problem for me to say to you guys what some of you may already know that I've said. This is the turner that I got with my FNG set. It's just a simple little Z-bar with a cutaway on it, but it's extremely well made. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because of most of the turning tools I currently own, this one's my favorite. It's the one I go to the most right now. I don't have ergo turners that I like. I don't have any expanded, really nice ones outside of just some basic Sparrows 1 tensioners and Sparrows flats. They work okay, but they definitely have room for improvement. And I can tell you that when I use something like this, that's why. Mick's got 3 McTicklers, a FNG, and his favorite turning tool right now is this little FNG turner. So, you know, it's all about what works well for you and complementing the things that do. And I think any company that aims to better themselves for everyone should be equally mature as we are about constructive criticism so that they can make the adjustment. And I would hope all companies, do a little bit of real market research in that way. GK Man says he's not that picky. Broke Pick says he is a connoisseur and likes most all of them. Yes, Broke, I'm a connoisseur of picks already, even though I have very few compared to some people. Our friend Bumpy Bones showed me that he has 337 different picks. And Sandman, another good buddy of ours, Sandman has probably every pick made by every company in the last 15 years that's been known to man. He's a collector. I'm sure, with him representing Multi-Pick and Jimmy Longs, he doesn't talk about all of them as much anymore, but if you would ask him personally, he would tell you that he basically owns every tool that's been marketed in the last 20 or 30 years. I would almost guarantee it. So anyway, I guess I'll mess around with a couple of locks here. You guys can chit chat with me, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up. That's really all I had prepared for tonight. This was only just a quick lockmail type thing. I wanted to show off all the cool stuff that Nick sent over for me. I'd like to thank him one more time in case I was trying to eat it, guys. Well, that being the case, I don't know. I'll pop 1 or 2 locks really quick with the McTickler, and we'll call it a night. Because you guys know how that goes. David says, yeah, I use those and ergos the most, but like Broke, we're all connoisseurs, just some at different budgets. Exactly, David, different budgets. That's what I was saying early in this cast. The reason I initially was attracted to the sets that I got is because I was attracted to the Reaper set, but as I pointed out, if you get the Reaper set and the Delta handles, which I must have needed, see, it works great. If you get the Delta set of handles, it's like 15 bucks. It's like 55, 60 bucks for the Reaper. You add the shipping for the 2 of those, you're getting up near 100 bucks. And that's for 5 picks with handles. And the case that those picks come in won't fit once you put your 44 Delta handles on them. I'm not trying to say anything about anything except the fact that I wanted handles and I wanted a case for my first set. So, when shopping around, I was already crazy about Sparrows from Bosnia and Bill's days. So, I went to them first. I bought some build it myself picks from them. That one's unlocked. I got the hookers, the SSD set, and the monkey paw. I think with everything I've got sitting there, the Sparrows and Jimmy Longs combined, I'm still sitting probably only like maybe $20-ish, 30 at most, over what a Reaper set would have cost me. And I'm talking about 8 Sparrows picks, 7 Jimmy Longs picks, all the turning tools I own in both cases. So for me, as a budget poor man, that is why I ended up, I'm sorry, I haven't messed with this one enough yet. That is why I ended up with what I have. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, guys. It's getting warm in here. And there's probably some other things you guys want to get to, and that's okay. I just wanted to share my lock mail with you guys tonight. Yes, David also would like to get some ergos and some more of the Z-bar style turners from somewhere. A Vice from Harbor Freight will be my next acquisition. You guys see that I pick a lot in hand, and I'm getting to the point where I really want a Vice to play around with some of this stuff. So I'm going to continue reading my book and progressive pinning this sweet new lock that I got. I'm going to play around with the McTicklers some, and that's about all I got for you guys. So thanks for coming out to hang out, everybody. Thanks, David, GQ Man, Broke, Lock Guy, everybody who was here earlier, Wild Billiam, Rock Out, everybody who stopped by. Really quick, but she liked and subscribed, and she's going to try to watch one of my lives next time. She had to get to bed, but really want to thank her also for stopping by and subscribing, and hopefully we'll see her and get to know her better on one of my next lives. So that's it, guys. I'll be in touch with you very soon. Mounta1nM1ck's got some other stuff going on, and hopefully pretty soon you guys will see me have this pack lock on a nice video of me opening it. I mentioned earlier, I just want to throw it real quick. Go watch the video I just put on videos from friends of Chuck Soup. Chuck Soup raked open one of these, but the real bodied version, the Packlock 90A Pro. He's got a video where he uses a Sparrow City rake to rake one of these open, and it is super fast. He got his 200K patch ordered today from doing it. Just want to close in saying, go check out Chuck Soup's video on the playlist. It's a really awesome one I just added before the live because I was talking to him in Lady Locks. All right, guys, that's it. Mounta1nM1ck's out of here. Love you guys, and have a great night. We'll see you next time.